I've mentioned a few times now that I am a fan of the Harry Potter book and film series. And in one of those films, first one, Sorcerer's Stone, because I'm American and it's not Philosopher's Stone, Professor Snape, and again, this is the movie, Professor Snape is quoted as saying to Harry that he, paraphrasing here, possesses the genetic predisposition to not pay attention. He feels confident enough in his abilities to not have to pay attention. And that phrase, being a teacher myself, that phrase really rings true to a certain extent, and I'll explain a little more. There are students, there are teachers. Teachers talk about students. You know, if I had a student, or if I have a student this year that another teacher had the previous year, and they had a rough go of it, that teacher is going to be inclined to tell me that student is not going to be a benefit to my classroom. It just happens because they had a negative experience. So now that student is coming to me under the predisposition, or just the disposition, that they are a bad kid. I try to avoid that at all costs, if I can. Okay, I will. If a teacher asks me what a student is like, I will do my best to describe their positive traits and qualities as best I can. Because most often, if a teacher is asking for specifics on a student, it's because they've heard from someone else that student is rough around the edges, to put it kindly. And sometimes they are. Sometimes there are students that will eat at you, and they will do the best they can to drive you nuts, whether intentionally or unintentionally. So I try to give it my best effort to not label that student when they go on to another grade level, when they're trying again to start over, I don't want them to feel like they are tagged as a person that can't succeed because the teacher has already labeled them as a person that won't succeed. That's not fair to the kid. The kid who has their entire life ahead of them to try to change to become a better person, and we're labeling them for 8, 9, 12 years as a person that's never going to? That's not fair. And so I try to avoid that. And the opposite is also true. When I am told by a teacher, oh, you have this student in your class this year, good luck, they yada, yada, yada. Okay, great, they did that for you, and I'm sorry that you had that negative experience, but that is not one that I am going to start out thinking. And there are sometimes I will tell a student, hey, straight up, this teacher told me, or maybe not this teacher told me, but I am aware that last year was not a pleasant experience for you. That you didn't maybe enjoy your school year as much as you could have. But this year's going to be different. I want them to know that in my classroom, they get the chance to start over. Not just at the beginning of the year, but every single day. They get to start over every day because they are, it's a different time. They're not going to be labeled by me in my class for something that I had no part in their past. I am only given the present to try and shape their future. So if you are a teacher or you are a parent that is charged with preparing a student or a child for their future, please do not allow their past mistakes to inhibit their future potential. And if you are a student that has been labeled, I'm sorry, you didn't deserve that, and I would encourage you to try to do everything you can to change others' opinions of you through your actions. I'll talk to you tomorrow.